Skip it up and that up.
All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Men with beards.
Which is the worst name I've ever heard in my life.
I think it's
just want to go on the record saying that.
Okay.
Me being,
You're a man with a beard. It doesn't mean you're holding like some secret, like you enjoy the surprise butt sex.
But
You're literally a man with a beard.
yes, I am, and but this show has nothing to do about beards.
All two large men with beards are talking about cars.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll go on about that for an hour. So right now, we're not in anything exciting because I have a 325xi. It's in the shop. My Subaru Outback is indisposed at the moment. So we're actually in a 2016 Subaru Impreza, and it's small. Now, it's funny because I had a 2000 Impreza. Like, it was forest green, it was ugly. And I was pretty comfortable in that thing. This one is actually tighter than it.
What year and what weight was that? How many pounds? How many?
No, my ass was just a spread.
Okay.
No, my ass was just, I just had it until 2014.
All right.
Yeah. And, I don't know, this just feels tighter. Like, I'm talking legroom and stuff, too.
Okay.
The seats feel okay. Like, I'm not tight in the seat.
I've never spent much time in that one, but I've spent a lot of time in other Imprezas from, like, I think my sister's was an 08, and that had a lot more power, by the way. The 2.5 liter engine. This is the new 2.0 liter with 148 horsepower.
What is Subaru like? Okay, like, I'll give this one credit because I actually have now, and I'm selling it. I have a 2012 Outback, and everything is plastic. Everything's like this. Even here, the dashboard, everything. Whereas this feels pretty good.
It feels like the bottom of your shoe, pretty
Which is fine. That's fine. It's not bad. I mean, it's clean too. But my thing with Subarus, and this is they're so practical. They're practical to the point where it's a fault almost.
Yeah.
Minus the BRZ.
But you think of the class this car is in. You're not buying a.
But here's the thing. I know, but you go and get a. I mean, how much was this?
Roughly 20 grand. Probably a little less. It's a lower end model.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't have, like, it's a pretty basic, what do they call it, infotainment system here. You got a CD player and a radio. And
is this touchscreen?
No, yes it is actually. And you can plug in your AUX situation here with the iPod and whatnot. I think we got one jack for the USB.
This is a Bluetooth?
Bluetooth?
You don't know what Bluetooth?
I know what Bluetooth is, but I don't have anything that uses Bluetooth, so it does not apply to me at all. It's like there's no satellite radio and all the other stuff. Let's flip through. I don't know how to use this freaking thing. I'll use the steering wheel control.
You just called me. Now, I think the reason I'm starting to dislike Subarus is that I don't think Subaru gets it anymore. And what I mean by that is who the hell called me from Brewster? What I mean by that is they're practical, like I was saying before, to a point where it's a fault. Like, there's nothing exciting about anything Subaru makes, like I said, minus the WRZ and BRZ. Like, when you go look at, okay, Mazda 6 is a step above this. Mm-hmm. But what Mazda realizes is that soccer moms like cock. I'm serious, though. Like, they realize, okay, you're a soccer mom, you want practicality, you want this, you want that, but it's still a fun car. Okay? Yeah. It's not fast. It's like 190 horsepower. I'll
Mazda 6?
Yeah.
189.
Like 180. It's in the upper 100s, close to 200. It's not fast. It's a 4-cylinder. I don't think it's a CVT. I don't think they do a CVT in the 6.
I should know that, but I don't.
I don't think they do. And if they do, like I said, I'll put annotations or I'll edit it in. But they're fun cars.
Yeah.
Okay. Even a new Honda Civic, which this would be competition for, right?
Yeah, it's right up there.
They're a little pricier.
And honestly, there's not a lot of direct competition for this car because it's all-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's an entry-level all-wheel drive car.
Obviously.
But that's really, like, if you made this a front-wheel drive...
That's all this car's got, is it's all-wheel drive.
If you made this a front-wheel drive car, it would be fucking terrible.
I don't know if I go that far. It would be like a Mitsubishi Lancer, which is... It's not terrible, but there's no reason to buy one. Like, the only reason to buy this car is because it's all-wheel drive. I mean, and I guess there's still a little bit... There's last scraps of Subaru's quirkiness, which attracts a certain type of person, like former Saab owners, like me.
Like the Boxer engine and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
the Boxer engine and the looks, the styling is another thing, which Subaru's kind of ironed out a lot of those idiosyncrasies.
They're not quirky anymore. They're as vanilla. Like their styling is so vanilla now.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's another thing that, like, there's just, to me, there's like all-wheel drive isn't that much of a selling point anymore because a lot of people are doing it. It's not just Subaru. I mean, you could argue, okay, this is this car for the price point, it'll be tough to find all-wheel drive.
Yeah, and it's an all-wheel drive car that will give you. I mean, look at that's 30.6 miles a gallon since day one, since my mother got this car, and I've been getting 38 to 40 on the highway. And like, what other all-wheel drive car is going to get you that kind of mileage? I don't know.
That's true, but that's, you know. And the thing about it too is, now if you go out of like the Northeast, I'll tell you where to go to. If you go out of the Northeast, what does this car have then value-wise? Like if you're in California and it never snows there, or in Florida and it never snows there, what is the point of getting a Subaru?
It's sort of a niche, like a lifestyle sort of deal. People that are into skiing, snowboarding, going to drive up from the Bay Area or the Central Valley up to the mountains, to the ski resorts. It'd be nice to have a Subaru, but really, how many times are you going to do that?
Exactly.
And even if you do it, like, just wait till you don't need to put chains on your car or have all-wheel drive. I mean, for me, living in the mountains, it would have been
having this would have been a godsend for you.
Yeah, it would have been a godsend, because it's a pain in the freaking ass to put chains on your car every time there's 2 inches of snow on the ground. And that's the way the laws are. So the pussification of driving here. That's the best I can do.
That's true. That's true.
And the hysteria of, am I turning left here?
Yes.
The hysteria of, like, oh my God, there's like 3 inches of snow on the ground, and I just drove up from Fresno or something, and I don't know how to drive in the snow. So I guess to just cover their asses, I guess the powers that be say you got to put chains on, and it's a real pain in the ass to do that. Even if, like, someone like me, I've driven in snow my entire life. I know how to
you have. You know how to drive. You are you should probably give driving lessons on how to drive in snow.
And I don't know where the fuck I'm going, by the way. So
that's fine.
I should probably drive and shut my damn yapper.
No, that's the point. Why I want you to talk. Yeah. It's good, and about cars.
I also like to not crash into utility pole. But
yeah, that would be good. Yeah, or crash into an RDX. That's when the RDXs look like penises. I swear to God, they look like the RDXs. The new ones are good looking. The RDXs used to look like the mushroom tip of a cock. I know I've brought up cock twice in this video, but I'm serious though. They look like the back end of an RDX. I'll put a picture in now. Looks like a dickhead. But anyway, like, my thing with Subaru is, like, Mazda, and I'm not a fan of Mazda. I've never owned a Mazda in my life, so this isn't me being pro Mazda. But the reason why Mazdas are selling is that Mazda gets it. They get that people, even though they want a practical car, still want the make a left here. They make a right up there. We'll go cruising around, then we'll go to the food store. Mazda realize that people like cars that are practical and that are fun. That's something that also Toyota seems to be forgetting too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least Toyotas are sort of looking the part these days with the new Corolla.
It looks aggressive.
I haven't driven one in a long time, but I like the way they look, honestly.
They look good. They don't ride that well, I heard, but they look good. But again, though, that's the thing. Now, Toyota, they have the look. It probably is less fun than this car to drive, but they have that look, that aggressive look that people are looking for.
That's enough for most people.
Yeah, that is enough for most people, because you got to realize something, too. Most people don't give a shit about cars.
Yep.
Most people, they want to just press the button or turn the key, depending on what vintage car you have or what price you spent. Really, nowadays, most cars just have their, push button start. They just want an appliance, But at the same time, I think that Subaru's taking that too literally, and I think it may start hurting them, because like, my Outback is the most boring car I've ever driven. The only car that I ever had more so that was more boring than the Outback was, here you go, straight here, it's fine.
It's a fine line Subaru's trying to walk. I mean, they have to go mainstream to attract new buyers and not alienate their faithful at the same time. Well, I guess there's a bunch of people out there that would stick with Subaru no matter what.
Yeah. But you know that those days may soon end, especially now. Like I said, too, there's a lot of companies that offer all-wheel drive. There was a time where all-wheel drive you just thought of Subaru.
Yeah.
You know, especially back, I would say, in the late '90s and early 2000s. Like, you wanted all-wheel drive. Not saying there was plenty of other options, but it wasn't as prominent as it is now. You can get almost any car company has something that's affordable that is all-wheel drive. But back then, it was like, oh, all-wheel drive, you know. And Subaru they had that quirky styling that you said a lot of people who were former Saab fans like. Now, their cars look, you know, it's just a very generic styling. And the CVTs, in my opinion, kill whatever fun they had. Like my grandmother, she had a Subaru.
4-speed automatic, I think.
It was an Impreza, and even though it was an entry, she got as entry level could be.
That had the 2.2 liter, or was it the 1.8?
That was the 2.2, because it was the one that didn't blow the head gaskets.
Yeah, the 2.2 is a good engine.
It was torquey, and it wasn't that bad to drive. Now, you know, they just aren't fun. Like you even said it too. This car, you just drive. Like,
yeah, and I can't get comfortable in it on a long trip.
Yeah, I can feel
lumbar support is not. Yeah, it's kind of lacking. But
I could feel like
I move the seat all around, and I just can't get comfortable in it. Whereas my dad has a 2016 Forester, and it's like a whole other world. It's a really comfortable car, and I mean it's a apples to oranges sort of comparison, but you know, if only they put that engine and those seats in this car.
What engine's in that car?
The 2.5 liter.
Oh, I thought he had the 6 in there, baby.
No, they don't make the 6 in the Forester.
Really?
Right. I think there's a turbo version.
Yes.
I don't remember the details of that one, but
I think it has like mid 200s with horsepower.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a weird thing for Subaru to
I wish Subaru would come out with. You remember the RS package from the early 2000s? I think one of our friends had a RS. So.
You could get that in the Legacy too, couldn't you?
I don't remember. But
they had a sporty Legacy, if I remember right.
Mike's RS. Remember driving on Route 9 in that thing?
Mike Soldish?
No, Mike Young.
Oh yeah, the Impreza RS. I know what he had. Yeah,
like something between this base model appliance and what the fuck he doing?
He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Some base model appliance and the WRX, something that's sporty but not like not boring and not over the top with the performance. Like say put the 2.5 liter with the 165 or 175, whatever it is nowadays. Put that engine in this. Call it the RS. Why not do that?
Yeah, it would make such a difference, and I'm sure there's a profitable market.
I guess I don't know if it would take sales away from the WRX people. You know, if you're in the market for a sporty car, like why not get upsold into a WRX? Then you know, if they put something in between the WRX and this, I mean.
Yeah, but isn't a nicely equipped WRX? You're like pushing 40 grand in that thing, though.
You're thinking of the STI.
Okay.
The STI is up closer to that range.
And what's the WRX?
WRX is 25 to 30, I think, give or take.
Okay, so yeah, I could kind of see why they wouldn't make the RX. This is you're pushing like 19. Oh, that CVT. It just drones. I would be interested though to try. What was the car they had? They have a WRX with a CVT in it. And I heard nothing but good things about it. Let's say the reviews I watched, which were a few of them, loved it.
Well,
could there be people outside of that think it's terrible? Yeah.
If you had, I think there's no reason to buy an automatic WRX unless you have some kind of physical limitation.
It's true. You know? It's true. I don't even know how to drive stick yet. I want to learn because I just never had the opportunity to. And I would still buy a manual. You just don't. But I'm saying though, people who reviewed it said, look, we always drove the stick, we love the stick, and Subaru like forced us to drive the one with the CVT thing because they were like, look, we want to prove to you that it's, you know, we did a good job with the Sport-Tuned CVT, this constantly variable transmission. Everyone's like, yeah, it's impressive. So I guess if you really, I don't know why you would buy a WRX that's not manual. But if you don't want one, I guess maybe I heard it's a good option. And I also heard that the Maxima, which I'm still scratching my head as to why they went over with the CVT with that. The new Maxima has a CVT paired with a 300 horsepower engine. That's fucking crazy, man. Like, but again, though, I watch reviews and they said, it's responsive, but you just hear that CVT drone. You can pull around anywhere you want to and make it reverse. The and that's Maxima with the CVT. And there's no option. You can actually get like a 6 or 7 speed.
Yeah, there's no manual option either, right? It's
no.
CVT or nothing.
Which just shocks me because Nissan was always the ones that touted, we're the 4-door sports car, and you have a CVT and you don't have a manual option. Okay, sure. I mean, the ride feels good.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a little quieter, but
yeah, there's a decent amount of road noise.
Thumps over those road imperfections. But I'm coming from I'm spoiled by my 19-year-old Mercedes.
Yeah, intro guy has a 1997, Mercedes. What is it again?
E420.
So you have the 8. Oh yeah, you forgot you have the 8 in there.
That's the best thing about the car, is that engine. The M119 is a great engine.
And what are the horses on there?
It's a 275 horse and 295 torques.
Oh wow. See, the funny thing is that those numbers now, those are totally 6-cylinder numbers nowadays. It's amazing how technology changes. Like you wouldn't see an 8 without low now. If you got a new car with an 8 in it, it wouldn't have those low numbers. I mean, they get those kind of numbers out of 4s now with turbos.
That's true.
Yeah, that car. You took me in that car once. That car was fun. It's surprisingly, it's a huge car. Yeah. I don't know the weight of it, but
3,800, I think. Empty.
Oh, 3,800, which 275 horse isn't anything special for a car that big, but it does get out of its own way.
And it's at its best on the highway.
Mm-hmm. It's a cruising car.
Off the line, it's not, not gonna melt your face off.
What was that car, like 60, 70 grand when it was brand new?
55 or something like that.
That's a car an executive buys to cruise on the highway and go
It's not like it's one of the least desirable Mercedes out there from that generation, the W210 chassis.
Daimler Chrysler, that's why.
Yeah, I don't remember much about that merger, but
they were picking from the same parts bin.
But there's still enough of the old Mercedes in there. Like, the engine is the old Mercedes. One of the last over-engineered engines.
How they build shit like that. I gotta say, Mercedes has turned around though, because they're the time in the late '90s, early 2000s where they were pumping out a lot of shit.
Yeah, like my car, they switched over to water-based paint, I think, and
it peels off.
You can see what my car looks like.
The clear coat peels right off of it.
My car has no clear coat left, so it has a sort of a matte gold look to it. Which, if the whole car was just dull, it would be okay. But and those W210s, which I believe those were built from '96 to 2002 or 2003. I don't remember which. Before they moved up to the W211 chassis. Memory serves me. And they also rust out like crazy up here in the Northeast and anywhere where they salt the roads. I mean, and they had a nasty tendency to have suspension components fall out.
Oh God!
Like the coil spring, the spring perch mount would rust out, and if they would fall off while you're driving down the road. And, to my knowledge, nobody's ever been killed by that. But
sounds like something that could kill you. You're driving 80, and all of a sudden, your suspension pops out, and your car's like tilting this way. Oh wow! But that's the thing. Like in a Mercedes, just that I don't know the exact details, and I'm not going to make it like I do. But I did hear that part of the reason was that Chrysler was bringing them down, and that's why they kind of split ways. Even though Chrysler has changed their ways a lot from the same time period too, because they had to. American cars were shit
Well, I
for a
think,
long time.
Well, Chrysler got the better end of that deal.
What do you mean?
As far as, I'd rather have my hand in Mercedes parts bin than my own if I was Chrysler.
Yes.
In the mid-90s, late 90s. But where the fuck are we, by the way?
Turn right on East Main Street.
This thing doesn't know where it's going. No, you keep going this way.
How about you pull up? Oh, you're doing something there.
Fuck the Philippines. They could fill up my ass. Recac. Yeah, it's kind of odd too that your dad probably gets like sexually aroused from it. An Australian voice accent. Like, why is that necessary? Oh God.
And
Just
half a mile, make a U-turn at Hill Boulevard.
no. You're gonna keep going this way.
Drive 11 miles on 6 East.
Yeah. Don't listen to listen to yours, not mine.
All right, I can't quite hear it, so you're in charge.
Okay. You just be my bitch and keep driving this way. Oh, shut the fuck up.
Tonight on Review Tech USA, two fat guys get lost in an economy car.
Oh God. I just know that you go back this way and it just leads you back to Mayapack and then leads you back home. Alright guys, we're just stuck in traffic right now. This is Men with Beards. Signing out. Just want to do a little test run of this.
Yeah, you call the show this stupid name, then I'm the only jackass they see.
They know what my fat ugly face looks like. They see me all the time. So, but anyway, don't expect this to be a regular thing, unfortunately, because Matt lives on the other side of the country. So if you get like one episode of this a year, you're lucky. But I'm going to be doing other stuff with the GoPro. I may actually run around naked around my hometown. So cops will chase me while my ass is shaking.
Yeah, if you like this, just go sit in traffic sometime and some random guy. Hey.
I'm sure I'll go sneak some cars and I'll be a man with a beard. Never mind men with beards. And I'll do some car, not reviews, just try them out. And I'd love to get a Charger. I have a Dodge dealer right down for me. I want to see if I can get a Charger and drive it like an asshole for an hour. Probably won't be able to though. Alright, I'm signing out. Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And I'm going to be stuck in traffic with this bearded man. Have a good one.